Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel. Whether you're new or coming back, as you can see, I'm finally home back in New York with a new backdrop, with my favorite candles and scents, a gentle reminder about my show Mindfully Awake, and all my cards. Most importantly, I had a good night's sleep after all that journey from London. It wasn't easy, partly and it's funny, but because I actually flew into the farthest airport away from me, it takes me a good, like, the good scenario is it takes 2 hours. But of course, because it was a weekend, a lot of times it takes longer, and it doesn't even matter whether you take a taxi or public transportation for different reasons, but it's still gonna be bad. So yeah, eventually I think it took me 2.5, something like that. And of course I had lots of luggage, so yeah, it was fun. So yeah, I'm still recovering a little bit. I'm still need some time to take care of my home and all kinds of things that happened while I was away, but I'm excited that I'm finally home. As much as I love travel, I love my place, I love being here, and I love the energy of my place, if anything, right? So today we're gonna do an Ancestor message reading, and I will start, of course, with the Angels and Ancestors deck, with a message for both the feminine and the masculine, and then we'll get into tarot. But with that in mind, that today we are asking our ancestors to join us in this conversation and to help us, guide us, lead us to a better, brighter, healthier tomorrow. All right, and yeah, I've got cool cards here. I've got the Mystical Moments Tarot for It's Already Smiling to Us, with the Sun card on top for the main read. And yeah, it's gonna be the usual setup today, but with this special meaning in mind. And as I promised, I will get back to doing other spreads as well. I'm thinking of doing the Divine Masculine deep read tomorrow, and then the day after, hopefully I'll do the pick a card or pick a group, and then there will be messages that will be more specific based on your intuition and what group you chose. Of course, we're at the beginning of June, I remember that, so I am planning to start uploading the horoscopes today. We'll start with Gemini, since we are in Gemini season. Happy birthday, Geminis. And go all the way around as usual. I don't know what this week is going to be like, because obviously I'm still back and I'm sorting through different kinds of things, so I'll do my best to record them in the next 2 or 3 days and upload them all, but we'll see what happens basically. And of course I still continue working on the Mindfully Awake. I did provide a link to the latest episode about the art of appreciation yesterday, so check that out. Maybe I'll also do the community post to get the word out. Yeah, I definitely, a couple of topics that I see that I want to cover in June are going to be the personal astrology and of course tarot, because I do see it as a tool of personal growth. I love it that way. It helps bring to the surface lots of different archetypes and symbols and notions, or things that we don't naturally or normally talk about, right? There is a more beautiful and harmonious way of bringing that into the surface with tarot. And of course, don't even get me started on personal astrology, but I do want to prepare well for those ones. That's why I didn't want to do them when I was in travel. And again, you know, things happen. Like one of the weeks I couldn't record an episode, so there was a rerun because I was in travel at the time and I was trying to schedule a pre-record, but we couldn't make it happen. Right, last week on Friday they actually had to close the studio, so we had to shut the episode up front earlier in the week so they can schedule for that to be played at the right time on Friday. You know, so life happens, it's hard to predict that, and so yeah, I just wanted to prepare for those really well. I will have another short trip at the end of the month. I'm going to Ireland to join beautiful Bridget Nielsen for a spiritual retreat. I'll talk more about that, of course, but as we approach it, it's not, I don't think it's gonna make a big difference for the channel. As always, I'll try to kind of pre-record stuff and then with the monthlies. I will hopefully have time to also do the readings, like actually record them a little bit up front, so that even if there is a backlog of catching up to do, it's not going to be the entire 12 signs like I have this time, for example. Okay. That was 5 minutes of me talking, but it was quite important. And I feel like lately I've been just have enough time or enough internet just to do the quick reading and be off. So I just wanted to give a little more information to you guys. What do we have for Divine Feminines watching from the Ancestors today? What do we need to know? The Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Beautiful. The full moon, I love that as well. We have new moon coming up on Thursday, I believe. So of course I'll do a special reading. I might do it the day before, mostly because this new moon falls, at least for America, it falls on June 6th, which is the 6/6 portal. So, and I want us to talk about that as well. You may have been through many challenges and lows, but now you're in a space of transformation. You are moving beyond your past challenges and owning your current strengths. There are opportunities for you to discover and rediscover the gifts and talents that you were born with and born to share. All of your past experiences have only helped you see how strong you really are. You are an amazing soul who can change and transform in ways that people least expect. You have many talents you will share in your lifetime. You are guided to stay focused on the light, knowing that it will guide you forward. When this card arrives, there's also an opportunity for you to tap into the power of your spirit animal. Note if you're seeing a particular animal regularly, because its medicine is coming to you. Very interesting. All right, so you may be discovering new gifts or new levels, new areas of those gifts. What do we have for the masculines watching? Woo! The Wise One. Grow within your current situation. The wisdom of the Wise One is based on something that the younger generation is often lacking: commitment and reliability. When this card appears, you're being guided to continue working on your growth and expansion within your current situation. Be committed to tasks and projects. It can be very easy to get bored or overwhelmed, but persevere. You are being reminded of how it feels to be let down in experience and reliability, and that is not who you were born to be. So keep working on what you're working on because it's going to be extremely beneficial for you in the long run, right? So this is almost like see through the challenges, or of course see the lessons in the situation, even if it's been tough, right? It's not a sign to quit. It's if anything, it's the sign to keep going and show the commitment that it needs and that it takes, because not everything is achievable in a day, in a week, in a month. Yes, in this day and age, you're very much wired towards quick results, towards making something happen and seeing like the fruits of your labor like that very quickly, right? Which sometimes happens, but not with everything. I actually love that they have the new moon here above. They also have the new moon and the full moon, right? Very cyclical. And it's also interesting that we got the masculine figure for the feminine message and the feminine figure for the masculine message. So I'm getting also that it's worth approaching this situation that you're in from that opposite energy direction. Like, you know, if you're a feminine, then maybe see it with the masculine eye, so through their eyes, what it would be like. Not necessarily your divine masculine, but whoever comes to your mind when you think of integrated masculine, right? Somebody who would be in that high vibration, who would be acting from a place of wisdom and courage. Okay, let's get into the main read now with Tarot of Mystical Moments. I bought this deck exactly a year ago, and I'm so excited about it. I might get something this summer, but I'm not 100% sure yet what I want. So I'll just see what happens, like when it comes to me, and be like, yes, I need that, I'll get it. Okay, right now, obviously, because I've been away for 3 weeks from my cards, all of them seem exciting, and I'm so happy to have what I have right now, because even that is such a step up from what I had to use in my trip. And of course, I could bring more cards. I brought a lot more cards into Hawaii, but A, it was only 3 weeks this time, and B, I definitely knew that I would have to deal with luggage and lots of flights. And you know, like generally in Europe, you can fly from one place to another for like very low price, but usually that is dependent, because they're low-cost companies, it's dependent on your luggage. Like if you don't have luggage, you're golden, right? Like tickets could be $20, well, yeah, I guess $20, $30 to get you from, you know, one country to another. Beautiful. But if you have luggage, that's a different story. And of course I had to stick with one piece of luggage, and it was like a whole separate routine that I have to get myself around with all the stuff I was already bringing for 3 weeks of travel. So yeah, I had to be very modest with the choice of card decks. Okay, the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, yay! The Ancestors are telling us that love, I hear love's in the air, but it's actually much more than that. Love is around you. Imagine yourself hugged, like embraced into this cloud of love, right? Beautiful. It's always there. It's at your disposal. I'll do the Rider-Waite for the clarifications today. Three of Swords. Yeah, sometimes we feel the connection to love because of the heartache, because of specific experience that draws us away from place of love. But regardless, love is still there, and your ancestors is still there, your guides are still there. Those groups overlap, by the way. So, and you know, and they love you. So you still have the love, even if you're struggling in the moment, even if you're trying to heal from something sad, devastating. They're there. Somebody needed to hear that today. So here you go. What are the energies of Divine Feminines right now? We have the Fool clarified by the Death. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We had, in yesterday's reading, we had mostly major arcanas for the feminine. So this is a beautiful time of transformation. And Shapeshifter, I didn't mention it out loud, but I immediately thought, of course, of the Death and Rebirth card when we talk about shape-shifting and becoming somebody completely different. So there is that transformation happening, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. Your energy is changing, you're ascending, certain karmic cycles are getting closed. But it's still very important for you to be in this, like the way that you deal with these shifts is important. And it's not just for you to be idle. And there is a reminder here that the Fool doesn't, like the Fool card doesn't mean that you're doing anything, right? It's, if anything, it's the unprejudiced look at things, right? That's not filtered, that's not muddied with the previous experiences, right? And that's the rebirth part, right? So start looking at things with those eyes, of fresh eyes. So like starting this as a new journey, right? Like not necessarily making decisions out of previous failures, but seeing things exactly as they are right now in this moment, and deciding based on what you see in front of you, and of course what your intuition tells you in this new energy, right? Don't hook yourself up to the past situations, because it will only take longer for this transformation to happen. For masculines, we have Three of Pentacles clarified by Seven of Swords. I was just thinking, I thought for a moment that there were 3 birds in Three of Pentacles, but there are only 2. So there are 3 birds and a girl, right? It's a very interesting partnership, and I feel like divine masculines find themselves now in a very interesting opportunity of a partnership where they're still not trusting it fully, right? Because it's like something must be up, like these people will not be collaborating with me without any agenda, or I feel like I need to have a contract with them, that kind of story. Have a contract and like have a very detailed description of all the different cases, because something's telling me that it's off, that it's just not, it's too good to be true, essentially, right? Maybe it's also because they've never collaborated with these people. So reminder, divine masculines, to approach it from a place of wisdom, right? And if anything, for you to approach it from a place of feminine nurturing and care. Grow within your current situation, right? So this opportunity is for you to actually change your ways, remove the prejudice you had from the past and the assumption that this time is going to be exactly like that. Like, yeah, I've been there before and it didn't end well, right? So remove those. This is the opportunity to be free from those shackles of the past that are not letting you fly. Wow. For additional question, we have the Empress, clarified by 8 of Wands. So there is a birth of something new happening. There is a divine message. It's a message from the ancestors on something new coming your way, on you making it happen, actually. What is it for the feminines? 3 of Cups, clarified by 7 of Wands. Building friendships where you, how to explain this? You have your own space where you are an individual. You're not just a part of a group, right? That you have very distinct individual space about you, right? Like, this is me, this is who I am, and whether I'm with other people or I'm just by myself, it's not going to change that, right? I'm not going to blindly follow, right? I'm going to be my own person. This is a very new quality of relationships, right? But doing that still with the group's interest in mind, the love towards the group, right? And that's really the fine line that we are learning to find, that a lot of people don't really understand, was this kind of spiritual growth, that we are supposed to do what's in our best interest, but with that in mind, we're still considering how it impacts other people. It's not supposed to hurt them, not actively at least. Obviously, everyone is still liberty to judge the situation for themselves, to treat it in the way that they want to treat it, right? But still, there are certain rules of universal laws where we don't want our decisions to hurt other people or to take away from their experience. For what is it for masculine? Oh, I love this. Knight of Cups, clarified by Ace of Cups. Very much connection to heart chakra and learning what the unconditional love is, right? And how much it's linked to the way you express love towards somebody else now. Because Knight of Cups usually is the one that brings the cup to another person that they love, right? But it all starts with filling your own cup. And there's a very distinct... So now when divine masculines want to express that love towards others, they are doing it from a place of full cup for themselves. And again, it's a very different ball game, different quality of that communication, of that relationship, because they can only see, they're so connected to the heart. They can see when, like, what is the loving way to express themselves, right? Because a lot of times we still, or masculines in this example, go through passive-aggressive ways of expressing themselves. There's still jealousy, judgment, fear of being rejected, you name it, right? And it manifests itself in the way they express love. Even in the situation that seems so far away from those negative perceptions. But deep down, if it exists, if it aches, it's going to manifest itself one way or another. So now divine masculines are seeing how that could manifest, and they're making a choice to express themselves in a more kind and loving way. How the feminine seeing the connection at this time? There is the Sun clarified by 4 of Pentacles. Oof. So the feminine is kind of bathing in the sunshine in their own right, right? They're still seeing some of the darkness in their dynamic with, like, in this connection with the masculine, right? But they decide to keep it to themselves and deal with it in their own right, right? It's like, I'm like 95% there, and there's enough sunshine for me to work through another 5 for my own sake, first of all, right? So I don't really see masculine there, but there is that dynamic in mind. So the stuff that she's healing is still from the dynamic with the masculine. For masculines, we have King of Cups clarified by 10 of Cups in reverse. So definitely there is some melancholic vibe in this King of Cups card. The King of Cups has a lot of feelings and emotions that is hard for them to express. The only thing that they know very well is they're unhappy if this connection is not in a good place, right? So it's a matter of time when it gets to a better place. They have hope that it will, right? The sails, to me, like the ship to me is a symbol of that hope for the future, right? But right now it's a place of melancholy, like things could have been la 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 la, whatever the image is with the feminine, but they're not, and it's sad. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here for today. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me, for supporting the channel. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with others who may be interested in this kind of content. And until next time,